It was supposed to be just another night of baseball. The crowd cheered, the lights burned bright, and a young left-hander named Tony Saunders stood on the mound. Confident, calm, and ready to throw another strike. But destiny had other plans. In a single second, one sound would silence an entire stadium. A sound no one forgets, the crack of a bone shattering mid-pitch. Players froze. Fans gasped. Tony dropped to his knees, screaming in pain, his arm limp at his side. What started as a game that night would become one of the most horrifying and unforgettable moments in Major League Baseball history. This is the tragic story of Tony Saunders, the man whose promising career broke, not once, but twice. Before tragedy struck, Tony Saunders was a dream in motion. Born in Baltimore, Maryland in 1974, he grew up with a fastball that could burn through the air and a smile that never faded. Baseball was his language. Every pitch spoke of determination. Every game carried the fire of a kid who wanted to prove that he belonged among the greats. By the mid-1990s, he had done the impossible. He made it to Major League Baseball, drafted by the Florida Marlins. And in 1997, just in his rookie season, Saunders stood on the biggest stage of them all, the World Series. A rookie, pitching for a championship team. It was the stuff of dreams. When the Marlins won it all that year, Tony wasn't just a name on the roster. He was part of baseball history. The future seemed wide open. A lefty with talent, control, and youth on his side. Every scout said the same thing. Tony Saunders could be something special. But fate doesn't read scouting reports. The year was 1999. Tony had joined the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, one of MLB's newest expansion teams. They weren't chasing championships. They were building stories. And Tony was supposed to be one of the bright ones. It was May 26th, 1999, a warm Florida night. The Devil Rays were playing the Texas Rangers. The game began like any other. Fans cheering, pitchers settling in, the rhythm of baseball filling the air. In the third inning, Tony Saunders stepped up to pitch to Juan Gonzalez, one of the most feared hitters of that era. He wound up, he unleashed his fastball, and then it happened. A loud crack echoed through the stadium, but it wasn't the sound of the bat. It was Tony's arm. His humerus bone, the upper arm bone, had snapped clean in two right in the middle of his throwing motion. The ball sailed wide. Tony crumpled to the ground, clutching his arm, screaming in agony. Players rushed in. The dugouts emptied. Fans stood frozen, unsure what they had just witnessed. That sound, bone-breaking, was heard through the microphones on the live broadcast. Millions watching at home winced. Commentators fell silent. As trainers surrounded him, tears ran down Tony's face. He wasn't crying because of the pain, but because, deep down, he already knew. He knew that something inside him, something bigger than bone, had just broken. He was taken off the field, his arm stabilized. Later, doctors confirmed it was a complete fracture of the humerus, one of the rarest injuries in baseball, and for a pitcher, one of the most devastating. His story became one of determination. Fans admired his fight. Teammates respected his courage. Every pitch he threw after that was an act of defiance, against fate, against fear, against the memory of that terrible night. Tony Saunders' pitching career was over at just 26 years old. A lifetime of training, a world championship ring, and the heart of a fighter, all cut short by something no one could control. Yet even after baseball, Tony's story didn't end there. He became a voice of resilience. He often spoke to young players, telling them that dreams are fragile, that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is accept what's gone and keep moving forward. He once said, "When your arm breaks, you can fix it. When your heart breaks, you learn to live with it." And that's exactly what he did. Tony Saunders may not have a Hall of Fame plaque. He may not have left behind record-breaking stats or highlight reels that play every season. But in the heart of every baseball fan who knows his story, when that pitch left his hand in 1999, Tony Saunders didn't just lose his arm. He gave baseball one of its most haunting lessons. That behind every uniform, behind every fastball and strikeout, there's a human being, fragile, determined, and heartbreakingly real. So tonight, when you watch a pitcher take the mound, remember Tony Saunders, the man whose arm broke twice, but whose spirit never did. If stories like this move you, if you believe that baseball is more than just a game, then make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video.